Hello, my name is Tamika Russell. I am a certified life purpose coach and also the developer of the 8 Cycles of Wellness program. And I want to thank everyone for joining me on YouTube and Facebook to find out more about this program. The website, of course, is www.8cyclesofwellness. That's the number 8, cyclesofwellness.com. So let's get right into it. First, of course, like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on anything that's coming up. So, as a certified life purpose coach, I thought it was imperative that I develop a system, so that for those of you who can't do the one-on-one, can still get the benefit of the program. This program, I not only developed the program, but I actually go through the program on a regular basis so that I can always upgrade myself, because you know what, trauma and different things that we go through will keep creeping, keep creeping in. So we have to constantly keep fixing ourselves, keep upgrading ourselves. So the program is composed of 6 components. So today we're going to just break those components down, and then in further videos we'll talk about more things in the program. So hold tight, and you don't have to read all the little fuzzy details in the on the website, because I'll be going over that stuff today. So let's get started. Okay, so the first component is Vespiem Health. Everything really is based on your Vespiem Health beliefs. Vespiem Health is a acronym for values, ethics, spirituality, VES, physical health, and mental health. So it's an acronym. So when I say let's talk about your Vespiem Health, so that means let's talk about your values, let's talk about your ethics, let's talk about your spirituality, your physical health, and your mental health. You always want to pay attention to those 5 components of your health. Basically, it's a newly developed system exclusively used in the 8 Cycles of Wellness. Okay, and I'll get more into that another time. We're just breaking down the 6 components right now. Okay, so it's exclusively used in 8 Cycles of Wellness, not found anywhere else in the world, because I developed it for the 8 Cycles of Wellness. And basically, it compares what you kind of was brought up to believe, or what you kind of was shaped to believe, to what you now believe. Meaning what you've learned. Because as we grow, we learn. And as we learn new things, we need to weigh these pros and cons of things we need to let go and things we need to bring in. So we want to update our belief pattern, because we have to know that things that we learn need to come in, because we need to experience growth, and we'll get more into that. Then, of course, our second component, I'm sorry, let me just get that right there. Our second component is CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy is important in any kind of in any kind of way of thinking, because it teaches us how to control our thinking, how to control the way we take in information, how to control our emotions mostly. In a nutshell, it's our ability to put our thoughts and emotions in order, right? We can learn the difference between reacting and moving with a purpose, learning how to effectively listen and communicate while setting realistic boundaries. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. You are going to get to know me and that word are one and the same. So that's cognitive behavioral therapy. And like I said, again, we'll be breaking that down as we go through the program as well. The third component in 8 Cycles of Wellness is what? The 8 cycles. What are the 8 cycles? So, of course, we have to definitely address that. 8 cycles are basically the basic stuff that we go through in our daily life. So, these are things that 8 cycles are composed of 64 classes. So it sounds like a lot, but it's not. But it does address every little thing. But the 8 classes have 8 subclasses, and that's what we go into. But the 8 classes themselves, or the 8 cycles of wellness, these are things that we want to keep well. You have self-identity, of course, right? Self-identity, who are you, right? Trauma support, Gotta have that support. Self-esteem and wellness, right? Relapse prevention. And when people hear relapse prevention, they automatically think, oh, I don't use drugs. Relapse prevention can be that you keep just relapsing into a negative behavior, whatever it is. So it can be a bad decision making, it can be bad money choices, it can be anything, but anything that you relapse into, that's relapse prevention, and it's going to cover that. Okay. Mental health. We have a brain, you need to be healthy, right? Understanding anger. Okay. From time to time, we have to understand anger. It's not saying you have an anger issue, but we may be assertive or too assertive, or just being able to understand it, how to deal with others, right? Healthy relationships. I don't need to explain that. That is a fun topic, right? And of course, education, empowerment. Just learning, basically summing it up, you know, letting, talking about our basic needs, finding our purpose. What is our purpose? Are we living in our purpose? Are we happy? Let's make sure that we are living our authentic self, right? That's very, 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 very important. So that's the third component. So we have Vespm Health, cognitive behavioral therapy, the 8 cycles of wellness, right? So we have those 3 components right there. So those make up the 3 components. So we have 3 more components. The fourth component is the 5 stages of life, right? Because we go through those 5 stages of life. So the first stage is, of course, adolescence. I'm sorry. The first stage, of course, is childhood, right? Very important. That's our root. That's our foundation. That's everything. So we really have to go over that stage. What happened during our childhood, because what happened during that foundation, what's in those roots, let's go and dig those back up and see what happened there, what's going on. If something didn't happen, we need to know what didn't happen. We might have to put some seeds back in there, or we might have to take some things out, throw some things away, so we're going to see. Adolescence is when we start kind of exploring a little bit and letting other what they do. What do they do in your family at dinner time? What do they do? What do they do in your family at Christmas time? So now we start seeing other people's lives and letting other things in. So what happened with us at adolescence? How do we see ourselves? Then of course we have adulthood, maturity, and growth, right? We also have a point, or we also may have some spaces where we have regression, where we kind of like, what, when it comes to that, this is what I do, and I don't grow in that area. So we want to identify all those things, right? So it says we're going back to build a stronger foundation, reshaping your life to um reshaping our foundation, basically, and identifying any missing pieces and filling in the gaps. So we're going to go over those five stages of life, right? So that's also, all this stuff is composed in the 8 cycles of wellness. Our fifth component is neuroplasticity, right? So that word sounds like neuroplasticity. What does Tamika know about neuroplasticity? She's not a neuro scientist or a neurologist. No, I'm not. However, we can look this word up, right? Neuroplasticity, just to keep it simple and so everybody can understand, because it is a scientific term, right? It means when the brain is rewired to repeat actions to function in the same way that is different from how it previously functions. You can actually retrain your brain. So that means that, if you're having an issue, or you're having some habits that you're trying hard to break, or you're just like, what, I'm just like that. Guess what? You don't have to be like that. You can change the way you can retrain your brain, and that's scientifically proven. So that's what neuroplasticity is all about. So we added that in there. So we're going to do some retraining of the brain, and I'm going to show you how to retrain the brain, and that's where cognitive behavioral therapy comes in, which is great. And last but not least, and we're going to get into this here. I love this part. Self-reflection therapy. Self-reflection therapy is very interesting, and why it's interesting is because of where I got that method from. Okay, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my God. Okay, everyone has their form of God, their form of worship, their form of higher power, even if it's yourself. However you view your Savior, however you view your teacher, okay? That is a wonderful thing. But I'm going to tell you, my teacher has taught me. He has used a method where he asks questions, okay? And I do use the Bible a lot. I use a lot of references in the 8 Cycles of Wellness, but I do use the King James Version of the Bible and different versions of the Bible. I use different quotes. I have quotes from Maya Angelou. I have quotes from Buddha. I have quotes from Gandhi. I have quotes from Jesus. I have quotes from the scriptures. I have quotes from everybody. So everybody is important. But I will tell you, the method that Jesus used that I loved was that he used methods by asking questions, because sometimes the answer is already within you. And that's why it's called self-reflective therapy. Self-reflective therapy basically is that the program is just compiled of questions. What do you think of this? How do you feel about this? What happened when you were this age? What happened with you? Because you know why? Because everyone's situation is different. So in order for the program to fit everyone, all I can do is ask questions. Okay? I can't just give you answers because everyone's answer is going to be different. So the program is basically, it's tailor fit to everyone because it's tailor fit to no one. If you get that, right? It's okay, get it? It's tailor fit to everyone because it's tailor fit to no one. So that's kind of the thing, right? So here we go. So it says, one question he asked the person, do you want to be made well? Do you want to be made well? Do you want to get better? Because no one can just come and make you better. You have to want to be made better, right? Do you want to be healed at Matthew 16:15? Who do you say I am? Right? Who are you? And on that note, who are you? Who are you? There's a poem that I want to share with you, and I want you to think about who you are. Who are you? Yes, sometimes we have to go into a negative place. So the next time you do, think about all those bad things or situations you've gone through. Get a pen, write them all down. I mean, all those hurtful, deep, dark things. Those things you just can't get past. Okay? Then read the list out loud to yourself. Okay? Feel what you need to feel. Feel it. Cry if you need to cry. Scream if you need to scream. Yell if you need to yell. Write everything down. Feel it. Then thank God. Okay? That you're just reading about it. Amen. You have proven to be resilient. You've made it through. Never forget that even in a negative place, who are you? You are amazing. Joy and wellness to you. Until next time, to God be the glory. Like and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Check out the 8 Cycles of Wellness. That's 8, the number 8, cyclesofwellness.com. See you next time.